Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, thanks for chatting. Appreciate it.
It's fine.
I'll try and keep
Oh, you're
it
welcome.
quick here and to the point, just so that you can do what you got to do. Um, so yeah, just been digging into this. The story is obviously blown up overnight. Everyone's talking about it. It's even like in mainstream at this point. I've had journalists reach out curious, like what in the world's going on, right? Like it's probably on
I
Roblox's radar.
I'm really trying to not get this out because I'm tired of seeing messages like I sent of people telling me that since I don't want to share anything because first of all, I can't get anything because I'm not her family, and I'm getting sent death threats over this.
Well,
Like
so
yesterday, I got diagnosed with insomnia because of this. I haven't slept for 4 days straight. 4 days straight because of this, and now I'm getting sent death threats over this.
when did this happen, by the way?
It happened. It happened. Actually, no. It happened the night that it got out because I was on a call with Evan, Bego, and Bloxevents, which are all my friends, and Evan's the one that made the suggestion. I told him something happened. An hour later, I messaged Bego telling them to tell everyone else one of my friends tried to play Doom by Fate, and then she got a seizure. A seizure.
Gotcha. So this would be on the update came out on the 5th, so this would have been the 5th then.
I think, yeah.
Okay. All right. So that would have been Sunday, and then yesterday was Monday. Today's Tuesday. Okay. Um, I have a few questions here. I'm just gonna kind of like go through, um, kind of like what I said up here in the voice
Before
note.
you
Which,
before you ask, I'm
yeah.
sorry to not give any picture proof. It's just it's just been hard. Like if you make a video, I can can you put that in there? Because I guarantee you're gonna make
Well,
one.
I am gonna make one. Here's I think the crux of the issue here. So like you have inadvertently accused an entire development team of, I don't want to use the word murder, but due to negligence, they're responsible for the death of your friend. I'm
I
looking at,
never wanted this to get out. That's the thing. Like I
well,
was gonna
well, hold
keep this
on,
to myself.
because I see a screenshot here. I'm reading a screenshot, and this is your words. You say, I have a second. Her heartbeat is slow as hell. Get a YouTuber on this. Get this out there. If she dies, I swear to God, are there not content creators? I know it's possible to ping them
Yeah,
here.
I said that because at this point, originally I was going to keep it to myself, but then Evan made the suggestion. Then I thought, just fuck it, this is out here. Then I'm going to start talking to get somebody onto this.
Okay. And
But it
well,
was originally I wasn't telling people.
now the entire internet thinks that a development team is responsible for the death of your friend. So that's like where we're at right now. And
Yeah,
the crux of the issue is like, here's the thing: extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And so if you're claiming, which whether you wanted to or not, you did, and now it's out there, and now we're here talking. Um, you claimed that this happened, and now people are running with the story. And my question would be: is there any like physical proof of this, that this happened? Any documentation? I understand death certificates take a while. Anything from the hospital? Anything from the EMS? Anything, like
it's
literally
hard to
anything?
get something because I'm not her family. They won't count me as her family. And why can't I ask her family is because I know people. This is making people really skeptical when I say this, but her mother and father are dead.
Yeah, I was reading a note here. You said that her entire family pretty much was passed. Like, what do you mean by her entire family almost?
Her mother and father, that was like the only people she had.
So she doesn't have any grandparents, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, nothing like that?
Her her parents were decently old, and then her like aunts and stuff, they don't even
Well, hold
knew
on. She
they
was
don't even know
20.
about.
So how old was her parents?
I think when she was 19, her parents were like 60,
Okay.
61 to like 62. I'm not sure.
And her both of her parents passed away?
Yeah.
Okay. Um so wait, I guess I should ask this too, because obviously this matters. So she was 20, right?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
You're 13. Okay, so here's the
She wasn't
timeline.
like a predator or
No, no,
anything,
no, that's
but
not what I'm getting at. No, no, no. Look, whenever I was a
yeah,
kid,
yeah.
one of my best friends was a 70-year-old man on World of Warcraft, and there was never anything
That's a
inappropriate or
crazy
anything
thing
like
to
that.
say.
What was that?
That's a crazy thing to say. I'm sorry.
It is. I know. It sounds really weird, but I was like 13 and like genuinely, like he talked to my parents. Like we were all friends. Like it was completely like everything was fine. But like I'm not trying to accuse her of anything bad or anything like that. Um,
Yeah, but
so
just with how people are, I have to say that.
yeah. I understand. I understand. So the timeline of events is she has a seizure. She says she lives alone.
Yeah, she's lucky.
Yeah. And then
But
so she has a seizure. Her next door neighbor walks in on her having a seizure, is what you said. How does
it's
what's
because her next door neighbor is our friend, and then I don't know why they went in on there. I never asked them, but then I just remember them. They texted me and they said Kit's having a seizure, and then I just had to run over there.
see like this is where things start like this is where like I'm trying to make connections here because like it's midnight. I think at the time it was like 11:53 or something in the screenshot. It's
Yeah,
midnight. Number one, how does the neighbors know that she's having a seizure? Two, how do the neighbors get into the house if she's having a seizure? Like, how does that even happen?
because since the neighbor is our friend, both of our friends, we started to know them when she moved in. They had a key to get in. I still don't know why they were there at that exact time because I never asked them. And right now they're like taking a long break from communicating with people because this shit hit hard on them.
Okay. Um. Okay. So they get to they find her. How old is the neighbor, by the way?
Um, I think at 19. I think they're 19.
Does the 19-year-old
19.
live with their parents?
Yeah.
So where were the parents in all this?
I think they were asleep. I really don't know, but I don't remember her parents or her parents being there.
So the next door. So this dude's neighbor is having a seizure. He does not. This is where like, I'm starting to question things. So like he doesn't wake his parents up when the next door neighbor is having a seizure.
I I guess. Like
Okay.
I wanted to ask them why, but still they're taking a long break from communicating with people.
Okay. The parents are taking a long break from communicating with people, is what you're saying. Okay. Um, so 19-year-old neighbor finds her, calls EMS, and then calls you. Is that right?
They called me, and then when I got there, they were in the middle of calling EMS. Well, they texted me, then they started calling EMS.
So This girl's like struggling to like she is having a seizure on the ground for all intents and purposes,
I still
dying.
don't know why they told me.
Yeah, I'm like, why would they call you a third? Like, you're 13. What are you gonna do? Why not call 911? Okay.
Like, I know how to do CPR and stuff, but I don't think that's gonna help.
I was gonna ask you about that because you say when you get well, first off, let me ask you this. He calls you, you say you go over. How do you get there if you're 13?
I'm fucking running. Like, I'm running as fast as I can to get over there.
So you ran from your house to your friend. Like, how far do you guys live apart?
About 15 blocks apart.
So you ran 15 blocks. Okay. So did you tell your
Yeah.
parents?
Well, my dad doesn't care. I just told one of my friends having a seizure, and he said, "Go ahead." My parents live separately, and right now I'm at my dad's, so that's why my mom didn't intervene.
Okay, so you tell your dad, my friend's having a seizure. You run over to her house, and then you get there. She's on the floor. You perform CPR at that point, right?
Yeah.
So my question was, so I had to take a CPR class in high school as a part of like the health. That we took a health class, and part of our grade was getting like CPR certified or whatever. And like one of the things they teach you during that is that you never perform CPR on someone that is like that doesn't need it. So if they're breathing, even if it's like if they're breathing, period, you don't perform CPR. Also, if someone's actually having a seizure, like
Oh,
there's procedures there too. You turn them on their side because you don't want them to choke on their tongue or whatever. There's certain procedures there. So my question is like, if you know CPR, who taught you CPR? Because you definitely would not want to perform CPR in a situation where they're still breathing with a pulse.
my middle school has this thing called the Explore program, and when we're in sixth grade, we take all three classes to see which one we want. And in healthcare, they decided to teach us CPR with these dummies that they use in training, right? They told us to turn them on their side, but they never said anything about you shouldn't give it to someone that's having a seizure or if their breathing is shallow.
Okay.
They just taught us how to actually place our hands and stuff.
Okay, so EMS gets there and then what happens?
Well, she gets taken, and I tried to ride with them, but I just had to follow it.
So you
And
ran
then
all the way to the
they,
hospital.
well, it was hard, but I walked like half of the way. I started running again.
How far is
I
the hospital?
alternated. My other friend went back home. I have no idea. I was just trying to get there as fast as I could.
Okay.
When
So your other
when I look
friend,
back
the
at what I'm
19-year-old,
saying,
did he ride with them?
no,
So
he
he
went
stayed
back
home
to the house. Yeah,
and
to
he did
talk with my parents.
and that at that point he talked to his parents.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. I know.
Okay. All right, so you get to the hospital like what happens?
I get put in the waiting room. I told them I'm here for her name, and then when I get in there, I see she's on a fucking operating table. Well, not an operating table. She's on a hospital bed,
Yep.
and then her heartbeat started slowing, so they got her into surgery. And then, but when I say I watched her die, I was watching through the fucking window in the door. I don't know why they had a window in the hospital door while I was watching.
So you were watching them do surgery through the window.
Yes.
Okay. Was there anyone else there with you? I think you mentioned like a friend being there in your messages.
Yeah, I mean, the friend I was talking about, they tried to come over. When they got there, kid has already died.
Okay. Well, you say I'm reading a message here. You say they're about to let me and my other friend inside. That was at 1:45. Presumably, you're talking about the emergency room at that point,
I
right?
mean, I was I really hate to say this because it makes it sound really fake. Like what I'm saying, it makes it sound fake, but they weren't even there yet. I was typing fast because I was trying to get into there. I really don't know, but there's nobody else with me at that point. It was just me.
So, okay. I have a few questions here. So she starts her heart rate starts falling, and they take her in for surgery because her heart rate is falling. What is the surgery?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
I was
Um
already panicking when I got there. I wasn't listening to the doctors.
okay, so my question, and look, I don't work at a hospital, so maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't think a hospital would like I question a hospital letting a 13-year-old watch a surgery through a window without any parents being
They didn't
there.
know.
They didn't know you were watching?
No.
So, well, how hospitals work though is they have patient areas and then they have the emergency operating section. And in order to get into those sections, you usually have to have like some sort of key card or some sort of like pass to get in there. How did you get in there?
I just followed them. They didn't notice me. And then when they closed the door, I just looked in through that window.
Okay. Um
I know that may be wrong to do, but then when she died, I just left.
so how did you know she passed? Did they come out and tell you and talk to you?
No, it's that they just stopped working suddenly. Their movement stopped.
Their movement stopped, and so you presumed that she was passed, gone,
And they
and
put
so
their arms to their side, and then they were looking down at her, and like I knew she was dead at that point.
and so then what did you do?
Well, obviously, I was on the verge of like breaking down and shit, but I did the best I could to get home, which took about an hour, but I managed to.
And then like what's happening? Like are there funeral proceedings? Because you mentioned in a voice note to me that you're going on a hunting trip for 7 days. So like, are you gonna miss the funeral?
It's not a few days, but I don't know if there is going to be a funeral because her family, I don't know who they send it to. I don't know who's even gonna do it if somebody does. And for the
Well,
hunting trip, it's going to be till Wednesday till this. It won't be 7 days, but I'm still going today soon.
well, my question is like if my best friend tragically passed away, wouldn't you want to be there for? Because like she's gonna either be buried or cremated. Um, it's
I
it's
would
one
want
or
to
the other.
try, but I don't know who's trying to. I don't know who's going to do it. I'm going to try to be there the best I can, but I really don't know. And this hunting trip was already scheduled, and my dad refuses to not let it happen.
Okay, so there is no documentation from the hospital or anything. You don't even technically know that she passed
I
away.
can't get documentation. I, I I don't know what documentation I can get, but since I am not family, they won't give me any documents. I even told them I'm getting sent death threats over this, but they can't.
You told the hospital that?
Yeah, I told them I'm getting sent death threats over this. I need documents so they'll stop sending me death threats. And they said it's mostly because of a law. We can't give it to you. A law or a rule. I don't know.
Yeah, HIPAA. You're not allowed to
Yeah.
disclose information. Right. Um, Look, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, there's a lot of things that don't add up here. Like, looking at your Discord messages, 3 minutes after you got the news that your best friend passed away tragically, you made a Discord announcement. I apologize for the ping, but I'd like to announce that I'll be taking a long break from the internet due to Doom by Fate. They refused to add an epilepsy feature. My friend, she passed away in surgery because of an epileptic seizure she had because of 1X. Like, your
Yeah,
best
I
friend
told that because
tragically passed
that's
away, and that's the first
that's
thing
where
you do?
all of my friends are. That's all of the people I know are in there, and I'm pretty sure they want to know. Even my partner is in that server. I know. Oh my god, I know they would want to know.
Okay. I have another question for you. You said you've made numerous statements and claims that it was Doom by Fate that caused this. But if your friend was by herself, lives alone, no one else was in the home when she starts having the seizure, how do you know it was the game that caused it?
Because when I looked at what she was playing, what I saw was Doom by Fate.
Well, that doesn't
I
mean
think it
that it
was.
it was that caused it. That just means that at some point she was playing it.
I'm
And you also
really sure it was Doom by Fate because everyone's been using 1X since release, and there's some squares flashing across the screen constantly
well you
when you
you
get hit.
also
Like,
someone asked, was she eating or drinking anything at the time, and you said no. But how would you know that if no one was there?
there was no food. Like, there wasn't scraps or anything when I got there. I saw Doom by Fate, and I know there wasn't any scraps, but other than that, and I don't know. I'm trying to make everything add up because, Creek, I'm going to be honest, I know this sounds fake, but this is also pretty hard to talk about. I'm trying my best right here now.
Like, I just want to make it clear. Like, you do realize that what you're like, if this is false and not true, you could be looking at a defamation lawsuit because you have now convinced the entire internet that this group of developers have inadvertently killed your friend. Not to mention, depending on the situation, like, you were gonna do you mentioned a charity event for your friend
That
on
isn't
Twitter.
confirmed. That isn't confirmed. What we were trying to talk up to, we're trying to talk about Pickett about it. That's not confirmed though. Not at all. I have some people that were with Pickett that know Pickett. They were talking to Pickett about it, but that isn't confirmed to happen at all.
Yeah, because if this was false and this didn't happen, and you did a charity event raising money for someone that passed that didn't that is that's charity fraud. Like, that's, you've now
It
entered
would
into.
it would be going to a since I don't know what not hospital, I don't know what funeral home she's going to because I don't know if the family even knows that I was her friend. It's going to be going to like an epilepsy research facility or something along those lines.
Okay. And this is all true. You're not. This happened.
If Pickett wants to do it for the
Oh no,
stream,
I mean the
yes.
entire
And
situation.
entire yes, Creek. Like I'm trying my best to tell you everything I can, the best I can.
Okay. I mean, look, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, there's some gaps in logic here. Like, some of my family members work in as nurses. One of which works as actually an EMS. They work on dispatch. They work in an ambulance. Like, I brought this to them. A lot of what you're saying just doesn't line up to how, like, medical procedure actually works and, like, what would actually happen in this situation, especially as a 13-year-old walking into a hospital by himself, sneaking into the back where sneaking into the back of a hospital. Like, I'm pretty sure that's a crime, by the way. I could be wrong.
Down here, since I'm like in a more rural area, we don't have extremely modern hospitals, but they can still treat people just as good as the normal ones can, or the more modern ones can.
Yeah, but
Mostly how I was able to sneak back.
you snuck into the operating room or into the area, the operating ward, saw the surgery being taken place, snuck back out of the hospital. It, and the doctors, like, they technically, you don't even know if she passed away.
What does somebody just send? Oh my god. Rick, I'm sorry, I need a second. Uh, okay, I'm back.
All good.
Someone just sent me another death threat, and they said I wish I would have killed myself with Kit.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're getting death threats over this. A lot of people getting death threats right now. The entire internet thinks that a bunch of kids killed your friend. And look, let's be honest. Like, the other side of the story is the developer. Like, what happened with the response to this on their side and the Discord and stuff. And don't worry, that's a whole nother can of worms. I'm just trying to get to the situation at hand here, because
Yeah, I really wish. I know this is off topic, but I really wish that Evan would have just made that suggestion without mentioning Kit, because I really didn't want this to get out, because I knew something like this would happen, and that was one of the worst things I would want to happen.
yeah, I'm looking through screenshots. You said numerous
Mhm.
times. You said to ping someone with a large following. Um,
Yeah, but then again, at that time, I was mostly panicking, and I was right there, so at that time, I wanted people to get it out because I wasn't thinking rationally of like the consequences of it. You know what I mean?
right.
I
Okay.
just I was thinking the more people that know, maybe I could get help or something.
Okay. Let me think if there's any other questions. So the neighbor's parents, they're not talking to anyone right now.
I'm pretty sure. No, oh no, I haven't been able to get into contact with them.
Or what about the friend, the neighbor that went over?
Like I said, they don't want to get into communication because kid's death was hard on them. I know. The only reason I talk about this is because I know if I don't, I'm going to get backlash and people are going to start thinking it's fake and I just left the internet.
Do you have, and like, I'm more than happy to not show this at all anywhere publicly, but do you have anything
If
you could
you,
show me that would show that this is not only even a real person, but that the situation happened or anything like that?
I don't have anything, I don't think. Like, all I have is all the DMs and everything. I don't have anything because I can't get anything. They won't give me anything.
Okay. Do you have a picture of your friend? What was your friend's Roblox account?
Let me see, hold on. For the Roblox account, let me look. I I can't remember her username, but I'll look for it. Where is she? Well, a picture, I'll see. I don't take many IRL pictures, but I can look.
Okay.
If I can, I'll get one when I can.
Okay.
Um, and this is the one time my phone doesn't want to load my photos, really.
Your phone's not loading your photos.
Well, now it is. It just took it longer than usual. Why can't I find it? I know I had a
What's
photo
her
with her.
username? I can just look up a Roblox.
Let me check. I'll try to find her, but I'm gonna have to look through my friends list for a second.
You don't remember your best friend's Roblox name?
I haven't because I've been constantly getting contacted and everything.
Okay.
If I can't, I really hope I find this, but I don't know if I will.
Do you have
Because it's
a
a bit.
do you have like
I,
display name? Like what was it? Was it like Kitty Cat
I know
53? Like
her display name was uh why can't I remember that? Oh my god. This is hard to remember. It was uh I don't know, I can't think of it right now. I'm trying to think of it, but I can't.
okay. Um do you have okay, tell you what, I know what I can do. I'll keep this completely private. I'm not gonna share this anywhere. Do you
Okay.
have like what is her name? Like her full name. I'll just look up like a record online.
I don't want to do that. I know I can trust you, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to risk it. Like I get that I can trust you and everything. You're a content creator. I trust you. But I still really just with this I don't want to share anything that's personal only because if I get sent death threats, if people know my face and if they know my face, they can get records and stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Here's the situation though. You have
Yeah.
accused an entire dev team of, again, I don't want to say murder, but inadvertently killing your friend. And now they're getting death threats, and everyone involved is getting death threats. And that's a whole other can of worms that I will get to. Um, but you're not willing to share any information that would verify any of these claims. Like, that's the disconnect.
Creek, okay. Can I just be honest with you for a second and can you
Sure.
put this into the video?
Sure.
I have tried to kill myself over these death threats because I've been getting such an abysmal amount of them. It's starting to take a toll on my own mental state.
I understand that. I'm sorry to hear that. I I
Yeah.
I think it's important to realize that the kids on the dev team are also getting death threats right now because you accuse them of murder or
I really
inadvertently
don't
killing
want
their
them to
friend.
be getting death threats. That's why I made a Twitter post to tell them that to not give Niz death threats. Nobody in here deserves to get death threats, but everyone's getting death threats, and I fucking hate it because I can't do anything about it.
Well,
Like I
you
know
could do something if like you could verify it and then it's true and then it's real and then you won't get death threats anymore.
I'll find I'll find a picture of us when I can, okay?
Okay. Um. Okay. Well, I am going to. I appreciate you chatting. I'm gonna tell you what I could do. if you really want, like, this would probably be the best for full transparency. I could just release this entire conversation, unedited.
I'd say just go ahead. If you release this entire conversation, you might have to censor some stuff because I said like kill yourself, kill myself and stuff, you know.
Oh, I'm not really worried about that. I appreciate it though, but
If you do that, I'd say just go ahead.
okay,
If you want to do that, then what I want to say before I leave is
sure,
just
go for it.
stop sending me messages. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support of people saying you don't have to reply, but I'm sorry. But those people sending me death threats need to understand that I've tried to kill myself over that.
Okay,
And that sending me messages like that isn't going to make the situation any better. But I'm going to be honest. After that hunting trip, I'm going to be offline for a while. I really don't want to deal with this for a while. I'm going to try to get some evidence when I can, though.
okay. Um, well, I appreciate the
So,
conversation, and
or-
thanks for chatting and lining up everything here. So yeah, have a good day. Wishing you the best. And if there's anything, just let me know.
You too, Creek. And I'm sorry if this sounds fake and all, but I'm trying my best with this.
Got you. Okay. Well, thank you. All right.